right now, please make sure that you're going to put that in the comment section if I'm audible or not. Right now, if you're not able to see me, hear me, please let me know, because today we are going to do something amazing which you're going to enjoy. So let me first of all confirm if I'm audible or not at least. So just, and obviously as usual, I'm going to get the advertisement. So before I get started, guys, I just want to mention one thing, that today we are going to learn so many awesome things, being very honest, because I'm going to share my personal experience if I talk about. Okay, awesome, fine. So I'm loud and clear. Let me put a comment. What's up? And obviously, guys, please ignore my English. I'm not good at it. Anyways, let's move forward and let's try to understand a very important thing, which I don't want to waste your time. So today we are going to discuss, as you can see in the thumbnail, get full stack developer job in 90 days. Now, first of all, I'm not launching any course right now. I'm not going to say that this is a job guarantee video. What this is, it is going to show you in a right way what is the way with which you can actually achieve this feat. So if you're watching me right now, put that in the comment. All the questions which you have, I'm going to sort out the questions live. If you have some friends or family member who want to become full stack developer and they have no idea about it, share this video with them so they can also join the live session, and obviously give a thumbs up because I am doing this for you guys itself. So let's first of all start with what is full stack development. Full stack development consists of front end development and the back end development. Front end development is something which you can see, the end user sees that. Like my mother, if she wants to make a cake, if she wants to bake a cake, and she's going to do a Google search, how to make a cake, this is, she's interacting with the front end part of the application. The back end part of it, if she's searching for recipe of cake, it should be relevant to her. It should not be recipe of mango juice if I talk about a recipe of something else which is not relevant to the search query. So the front end part is with which the user interacts. The backend part is often known as the business logic, where your logic will stand there. If you're confused, a simple example. You want to make a new WhatsApp account. What do? You download the WhatsApp application and you type in your number. The screen on which you're typing the number is front end part. But if your number is already registered with WhatsApp or it is either banned, this is going to be found in the backend part of it. When we combine these two things, it becomes full stack development. I hope I have made this point very clear. If you're watching on YouTube live, if you're watching this over your YouTube applications, if I talk about, again, this is not going to be very relevant in the Android application part of it. But let's say if I'm going to click on the video right now and I'm going to just put myself on mute. Let's say if you hit a thumbs up button, maybe if you put in the comment. So this interaction which you're doing with the application is happening in the front end, but how the data is getting saved, where the data is getting saved, is happening in the background part of it. So please make sure that you are aware of this concept. And thank you for the thumbs up, which I was expecting. Anyways, now let's focus on the second point of it, which I'm going to discuss is, can you show me some examples, Avinash? I do understand full stack development. Everybody says full stack development, but what is the real example? The real example is right in front of you. Google. Real example is YouTube. The real example is Instagram application. The real example is Facebook web page. The real example is company career page. What happens? You go there. Let's take an example of Twitter. I feel that that is still relevant for you guys. I go to Twitter and I say I want to create a new account. When I type in my email, if I type the invalid email address, Twitter will say that this is an invalid email. Please try a different one or a valid one. This is happening in the front end. Now, if the email is valid, but we have to verify that if you are actually registered with us or not. This is happening in the backend part of it. Second example is a very simple and very good example. You want to buy something and you have typed in your debit card number and you are assuming that the company does not know that this debit card exists or not. So you have put the random number there. But obviously there is a way with which a debit card can be found out. There is a way with which those numbers are arranged. So company can find if this debit card is actually a genuine debit card or it's just a random number. So if it is a random number, it will say it's an invalid debit card. But if it is a valid debit card, now you will go to the back end part of it and they will find out if you actually have the money to purchase this thing or not. So this is how full stack development works out. Now, if you're asking me the question, Avinash, what is the salary I can expect? Again, this is a wrong video you're watching right now. Go to Google, search for it because I'm not going to discuss about it. I want to focus on the roadmap part of it, which we want to discuss. So let me cross. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comment section so I can make sure that you are getting the answer. I would be starting my college this year. How do I get started? Well, Potato has a question. Thank you, Mr. Potato, for the question. Please watch this live session right now because I'm going to discuss the exact step you have to take. But obviously, since you're starting a college, you can actually get an internship, not a full-time job. So obviously that is an advantage for you. And if you want to learn more about internship, you can probably watch my previous live sessions, or maybe we can have a separate live session for the internships part. Okay, awesome. Let's move forward. Let's talk about the roadmap. What is the roadmap you have to follow? So first of all, let's talk about the front end part, which is the things which user can see. So obviously, if I talk about full stack web development, we are talking about right now. So first thing which you have to learn in basic is HTML. Please note it down, and obviously what I'll do, I'll summarize this particular thing and I'll put that in the first comment so you guys can also see in case if you're missing, but right now I'm not going to do that. So first of all, learn HTML. It is going to take 5 days for you to actually learn HTML and understand the basics of HTML. I cannot comment if you're going to become a master in 5 days because obviously nobody can become master in 5 days, but the whole idea is to learn it. The whole idea is to learn it so that you can answer the queries. After learning HTML, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which makes the skeleton of the which makes the skeleton of the web page. After that, you have to add something which is known as CSS, cascading style sheet. What it does, it brings color to your web page or the skeleton. So assume this is my skull, but you cannot see my skull because my skull is covered with my skin, which is kind of, again, I cannot comment on the color of my skin. So the color of my skin is defined by the CSS part, but the structure of my skull is defined by the skeleton, which in HTML terms, in web development terms, we will say HTML. CSS in 5 days. Moving forward, you will be learning about JavaScript. Sometimes I call JavaScript as brain of the web page. What actions to be taken, what reaction to be given for that particular action taken by the user is obviously known as action reaction if I talk about. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give in the action, or I would say reaction. I'll give a simple example. Right now I'm holding this pen. Now if my brain is going to say drop it, I'm going to simply do this and my pen is going to go down. It's going to use the gravity and it's going to fall down. So this is JavaScript. Now give JavaScript 10 full days, 10 dedicated days for JavaScript. So in total, we have learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in exactly 20 days. I'm going to give you the exact figure, so please make sure you're watching. And obviously, if you have some question, put that in the comment section. Now, next tool which we have to learn is something known as version control. By far the most important tool in your journey, irrespective of what you are learning. Are you aware of GitHub? What is GitHub? GitHub is a website where we store all our Git repositories. So GitHub is a hub where we are going to store our Git repository. What is a Git repository? Git repository is kind of a way with which we manage our source code. Why it is important? Because let's say if I've coded something today and I want to find out what I did day before yesterday, I cannot do that by just simply doing Control Z, Control Z, and Control Z. But with the help of Git, what I can do, I can actually go back and forth and learn what we have done using the Git. This is actually a very important technology, so please make sure you're learning that. So Git is going to take you good 5 days, I would say. Please make sure you're learning Git. Please do not forget about Git. This is a very important piece of tool if I talk about to manage your version control. What after that? Obviously take some break also, because I don't want you to be rigorous about it, but yes, this is what you have to do. After that, we will be moving towards a framework, because a framework is going to make our application more usable. It is going to save our time as a developer to actually manage the application, and obviously it is going to help us be more productive. If you're going to do full stack development on your own, you are going to struggle because you're in the learning phase. But if you're going to follow these standards, you don't have to worry. I'll give you a simple example. Let's say if you want to buy a car today, if you want to drive a car today, what is a good option? You have to buy a car, or you are going to build a car? You're going to buy a car because you don't know how to build a car. Maybe if you know how to build a car, it is going to take so much time of you to build a car. So it is better that you buy a new car. So here we will be learning front-end frameworks. It can be React, it can be Angular. Now, if your application is smaller, I would say get started with React. But if you're building some complex application, Angular is by far very good framework. Obviously, you can build some awesome and amazing applications using React as well. But yes, Angular plays a very big role when it comes to building complex web applications. So to learn these frameworks, give yourself good 20 days. I hope you are noting them down. Obviously, if you're not able to note them down, I'll make sure that I'll put them in the first comment. So please make sure you're learning the frameworks. It can be React.js, it can be Angular, or it can be Vue.js as well, if this is also a framework which is getting quite popular these days. So you can use these 3 frameworks to learn. Why is it important? Because I want to make sure my front end is quite efficient. It makes me productive, and it gives my user all set of features which they deserve so that they can use my applications thoroughly. So this is front end, and obviously the Git part, if I talk about, it's not part of front end, it's part of your learning journey. So please make sure you're following that. So all in all, we have spent 20 days learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and just give me a second. Yeah. So we have learned within 20 days, we have learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In next 5 days, we are learning version control, and in next 20 days, we are learning frameworks like Angular and React in next 20 days. So in total, this is 45 days. Now, within 45 days, if you have followed it correctly, you are worthy of becoming a front-end developer. You can actually find yourself an internship. You can find yourself an entry-level front-end job, being very honest. If you have followed this structure, within 45 days, you are eligible of getting yourself an internship. You are eligible, if you are looking for a full-time role, you can get a front-end full-time role within 45 days. But okay, a very good question. Will learning 3 to 5 hours per day enough, or should we invest more time in that? Well, obviously, I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer that in the conclusion section. Give me some time, because I want to make sure that I'm covering all part of it. You will get the answer to that. Now, as I was saying, within 45 days, you can learn within 45 days, you are job worthy or internship worthy. Now, if you want to become a full stack developer, you cannot become a full stack developer without learning backend. So what is backend? Backend is the part where all the management related to data happens. If you're going to upload an image, how to store that image, Do I want to crop the image, or do I want to reject the image because this is not the correct format of the image? This happens in the backend. If you're going to give me your email address, should I save it in this database or should I save it in that database? This decision making, or I would say business logic, happens in the backend. And now this is what we are going to learn. So in the backend, you have to first of all learn a language. Don't get scared. This is going to be easy. This is going to be easy. I'm going to make sure that you're learning it in thorough way and simple way. So the language which you can choose for backend is Node.js you can learn. You can also learn Python, or you can learn Java. Please do not learn all three. Give preference to one language, either Node.js, Java, or Python. There are other languages as well, but since we are in the very starting phase, I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to give you so many languages with which you're going to get confused. So learn any one of this language, Node.js, Python, or Java. But Avinash, I'm confused. Which language should I choose? I'm doing it for the very first time. In that scenario, learn Node.js, because if you're going to learn Node.js, in the front end part, you're going to build your application using JavaScript. In the back end part of it, you're going to learn, in the back end part of it, you're going to learn the JavaScript. So you have to just learn one language to build the front end part and the back end part. So this is going to be a game changer for you. If you learn Python or if you learn Java, you have to learn two separate languages, JavaScript, JavaScript, Python, to actually make the full full stack application. But if you learn JavaScript, you will be using JavaScript in the front end, you will be using JavaScript in the back end. So just one language to build a fully fledged application. Awesome. How much time should I give it to this language? 30 days. That is 1 full month. And guys, we are not including any Sundays. We are including Sundays as well. So that is 7 days a week. That is 7 days a week. Fine. So I've learned the backend language. What is the next thing I should be doing? Well, you should now be learning database, because user is going to give you the data. User is going to give you the data. Where do you want to store? You have to make sure that it is stored. Otherwise, it's going to be useless. So you have to save your data in the database. Now there are two ways of storing data. One is relational database. One is NoSQL database. A relational database is MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle SQL, or I would say Oracle database. We have NoSQL like Reddish, we have MongoDB, and these are the different stuff. These are the different NoSQL softwares if I talk about. So please make sure that you are giving yourself full 15 days to learn these database part, because you have to store your data in the backend part of it, or I would say database part of it. So in 15 days, you will be able to learn either MySQL or NoSQL. I would say that you should be learning both of them, because they are not very complex. They are very simple and straightforward ways of storing data. Please understand one thing. I'm not asking you to master them. Nobody can master them in 15 days. That is next to impossible. What is important is that we are learning the concept, so we are aware of it. Okay, this is what I have to do. So that's it. In these 90 days, you can become a full stack developer, and you are now worthy of a full stack internship or entry level job for full stack development. That is my promise. That is my promise. Awesome. Now the work is done. Once I have completed this, I'll be able to get a job. The answer is technically not like that. You have to build projects. You have to showcase that yes, you have the knowledge of it. Because in next 90 days, I can do anything. Maybe I'm not learning about it and I'm just saying, okay, I've learned it. I know what is Node.js. I saw the Avinash live session and I understand, and I'll be able to do that. You won't believe, one of the person we were recruiting, he said he can compete with anyone with 5 years of experience despite he was not having any experience. Nobody likes these kind of answers, being very honest. Nobody likes these kind of answers. So please make sure that You are now building projects. So from day one, whatever you have learned in HTML, implement in a project. From day two, you have learned CSS, implement in a project. From day three, if you have implemented JavaScript, implement a project. Now, to build a project, it's one thing, but to make sure people can see that you have built a project, you should be hosting them on GitHub. And this technology which I mentioned earlier, the version control, it is going to help you host your projects on GitHub. I'm going to make a separate video on that because obviously I cannot have a discussion thoroughly on this live session, but yes, this is how things are going to happen. So please make sure you are following this roadmap. Now, what you have to do daily. So first of all, you have to make sure that you're giving yourself a commitment that within 90 days, I'm going to change my life. That's it. Within 90 days, I'm going to make sure that nothing is standing between me and the dream job I am looking for. So this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. Now comes the question, how many hours should I be spending on these technologies in those 90 days so that I can be worthy? Am I supposed to give 10 hours a day? Am I supposed to give 20 hours a day? Am I supposed to give 5 hours a day? What is the answer? Well, the answer is very, very simple. You just have to spend 2 hours in a day to learn these technology every single day for next 90 days to become worthy of a particular job. Just 2 hours in a day for next 90 days and you will be able to learn these technology and you can actually call yourself as a full stack developer. Avinash, a lot of people say I should be working 16 hours a day. I should be working very hard right now because I don't have a job. I'm a fresher right now. Maybe I'm a college student right now. I should be spending more than that. Well, if you want, you can. But if you want to learn it properly, the smarter way, make sure that you're learning just spending 2 hours in a day. Because after learning that, make sure you're revising the concept. Make sure you're thinking about the concept. Because learning happens here. The brain, inside your brain. Learning happens here. Learning does not happen in front of your laptop. Learning does not happen in front of your desktop. Learning happens here. So if the concepts can get inside here, you will learn faster compared to working or maybe learning like a slave, if I talk about who works 24/7. If you're going to spend more than 2 hours in a day to learn this, it will be very difficult for you, being very honest, because it's not that you have to learn. It's that you have to make sure whatever you're learning can be implemented in future and you can do it without looking into tutorials, or you can use the concepts. So make sure you're learning or spending just 2 hours in a day, that's it. 2 hours in a day, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Next thing is, make sure your learning is, you can showcase your learning to other people as well. So I have, like, obviously we call it something which is known as build in public. I will say you should build, or I should say you should learn in public. That means if you have learned the basics of HTML today, write a tweet about it, make a YouTube video about it, write a LinkedIn post about it, because you will get into the habit of revising as well. So today I was learning cascading style sheet and I realized that I can make the body tag as black or maybe as white or maybe gray, as brown, red, pink, whatever that is. I was learning JavaScript and I realized how easy it is to validate the HTML, or I would say how easy it is for me to actually validate the email address or maybe mobile number. So if you're going to learn in public, you can showcase this learning to the potential recruiter, potential team, and you can showcase that yes, you have learned something and from 90 days you're doing that. Because if you can show, it is better to show than tell. It is better to show than tell. Please remember this. After that, make sure you are looking at the open source projects and you are implementing something from those. You're contributing to open source projects because they are going to give you immense learning. They're going to give you immense learning. And within 90 days, if you have followed these steps, obviously, I'm not going to say that this is a guarantee program, job guarantee program if I talk about, but I can promise you, if you have followed this structure, you will definitely become worthy of a job. I'm not saying that this is how you will get a job, but yes, you will definitely be worthy of a job. At least people will call you and they will discuss with you, hey, let's discuss about this job role. Are you interested for this or not? So let me summarize what we have discussed. The roadmap is quite simple. First 5 days, learn HTML. Next 5 days, learn CSS. Next 10 days, learn JavaScript. Then next 5 days, learn Git. Don't worry, I'll put that in the comment as well. Don't worry, just after the live session. Then after that, for next 20 days, learn front-end frameworks like React and Angular. Or Angular, I should say, not React or Angular, and Angular. After that, you are worthy of getting a front-end internship or front-end entry-level job. After that, we will be moving towards the back-end part of it. So for next 30 days, learn a back-end language. Preferred language is Node.js. After that, for next 15 days, learn database concepts like MySQL, NoSQL, and something like that. The daily habit, you have to just give 2 hours in a day to learn these technology. Make sure you are learning in public and you're also suggesting or working on the open source projects. So with this, I am quite done with what I wanted to discuss. Now I'm open for the questions. If you guys have some different questions, I'm going to simply answer that. The whole idea here is using this live session, I want to share my experiences, and if you have some questions, obviously I would be more than happy to help you out. So okay, so a potato says, awesome lecture, thank you sir. Obviously please don't call me sir, I'm just young like you. It's only that I'm aging a bit. Anyways, so if you have some question, put that in the comment section, and obviously if you like this video, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and obviously share with your friends, because obviously all this amazing content is going to come on, I would say daily basis, because right now we are working on bringing these kind of lectures, or I would say these kind of sessions on daily basis, every single day, live session. Okay, so we have a next question, sir. Layoff ke bare mein boliye sir. Okay, what do you want to know about layoffs? Just please let me know, what do you want to know about layoffs? Because I had a separate live session on the layoff things, which I discussed, I believe, day before yesterday. So if you have some questions related to layoffs, I'm open to answer them. But yes, I want to mention quick summary of it. Layoffs are happening, but that does not mean you are not going to find a job. If you have the skill set and if you have the attitude of surviving, you will get your job, or I would say you will find a job, because companies have already built so many things. Now they need people to actually manage that. They have done so much R&D. They need people to build projects on it, because every company wants to grow. So obviously, Sachin, if I talk about, if your question is related to layoffs are here because of the economic recession, which I am saying. But please try to understand, it is not going to be here forever. सर अभी कोर्स कंप्लीट हुआ है, मैं बैंगलोर जाके अप्लाई करूं इस ले ऑफ टाइम में? डेफिनेटली यू शुड बी गोइंग. दिस इज अ वेरी गुड डिसीजन यू आर मेकिंग, गोइंग टू बैंगलोर, बिकॉज if you are very near to the industry, or I would say if you are in Bangalore, cities like Bangalore, you can find so many ways of finding a job. First, you can go for walk-ins. Second, you can apply online. Third, you can be part of various job fairs. Fourth, the most important thing, attend startup events and say, I have this resume. Are you looking for a developer? Are you looking for a front-end developer? Are you looking for an intern? This is the best way to go. Actually, if you feel like that you have the proper resume and if you have some projects with you, definitely go for Bangalore. Take a risk for next 6 months. I will guarantee that it is going to make some changes in your life. That is my promise, because this is going to happen. I'll give you a short story, guys. I'll give you a short story. So one of my friend belonged to a very small town. in Madhya Pradesh, belonged to a very small town in Madhya Pradesh. When he joined the college, he could not even speak English. He could not speak English. Guys, please listen to the story. So he could not even speak English. And today he is working with a very big MNC, a very big MNC. I would not say very big, it's a global MNC. He's working with a global MNC. I cannot tell the details out in public because obviously I don't want to disclose his identity. But yes, he is now working with a very big company. The reason is he did not sit idle in the town where he did his college. After completing his college, he learned a language and he moved to Bangalore. Started with a very low paying job, if I talk about, but right now working with a very big MNC, I would say global MNC, and his package is more than 20 LPA. His package is more than 20 LPA. So you can imagine the kind of work, the kind of impact he has created just by making one decision of moving to Bangalore. I'm not going to say that this is going to work for everyone, but yes, this will definitely bring some good news for you. So obviously, if someone else has a question, I am open for that. Okay, Sachin, thank you. So Sachin, if you are watching right now, can you tell me what course you have completed? Which course you have completed? Do you complete your education or maybe some different course you have? Okay, I think Sachin is not online right now. Anyways, no issues. Okay, guys. So awesome, Sachin. You have done cloud computing. This is more awesome than anything else. This is more awesome than anything else. So I would recommend that what you should be doing: make a proper CV, make a proper resume. Look into my previous video. Maybe yesterday I made a video on how to build resume for fresher. If you're a fresher, obviously watch this video. It's just 22 minutes, but you will learn so many things out of it. So watch this particular video, and maybe if you want to join, you can go to Bangalore and you will find so many companies who want to hire you as a AWS cloud architect, or I would say cloud expert or admin if I talk about. So guys, that's it from my side. Obviously, if you have some question, put them in the comment section. I'll make sure you get the answer. Secondly, I'm going to come live every single day at 9 p.m. So obviously, if you have some career related doubt which needs to get solved, 9 p.m. Skill Nagar is the channel where you're going to get all the answers. So with this, thank you for watching this video, and all the discussion which I had is going to be available in the summary of the comment section. So thank you and bye-bye.